Okay, so Grams here has a shoulder injury. First and foremost, just to guarantee that it's not a super severe injury, we want to assess pulse, motor function, and also sensation. So I'll have Grams close her eyes. I'll touch around that area, see if she has sensation there. She does. Next, I'll check the pulse. Depending on the nature of the injury, you may not want to check the brachial pulse because that may cause her to move her shoulder in a way that's uncomfortable. So I'm going to assess radial pulse here. Her pulse is good. And motor function, do you feel like you can move your shoulder? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can move it. Okay, so we're good. So now we're going to initiate the wrapping. So I'm going to start with my wrap like it's a piece of toilet paper. I'm going to get 2 rotations around the wrist. After that, I'm going to have her support her arm. Yep. And I'm going to wrap over the shoulder, around the back, and make sure that I catch her elbow. Over the shoulder, around the back again, and catch her elbow. Now, on this next time around, instead of going over the shoulder, I'm going to catch the elbow again, but this time I'm going to catch a little bit of the hand. She's going to raise her opposite arm, and I'm going to come around the back. I'm going to secure the arm in like this 2 times through. Since I'm using this form of wrapping, I could just break and it will adhere to the rest. If I want to be extra safe, I'll tuck it in. Now, once she's in the wrap, I'm going to once again assess the pulse and grab one of the fingers to assess capillary refill. And that's a fully wrapped up shoulder. Okay, so I found Grams here lying down on the bed. She has a fractured tibia. And first we're going to ensure that it's not a super severe injury by assessing the pulse, motor function, and sensory function of that portion of her body. So to assess the pulse, I'm going to take the dorsal pedal pulse, and I could feel it, so that's good. I'm going to assess motor function by having her wiggle her toes. We're good. And I'm going to assess sensory function by seeing if she could feel what I'm doing with her eyes closed, and she can. That being said, I don't have access to a cardboard splint, so we're going to use this piece of parchment paper packaging as the splint. I would, with as minimal movement possible, slide the splint in place under the affected limb. We're going to pretend that this also has a portion to encapsulate her foot to minimize movement. Once that is there, I'm going to take this out so I don't make her uncomfortable. We're going to pretend that it's still on. I'm going to take the affected limb and move it in a manner off of the table so I have access to taping it. As always, I'm going to tape distal to proximal, and I want to ensure that I get both of her distal and proximal joints that surround the injury in the taping as well. So I'm going to start in a place where the ankle joint would be secured. And I'm going to keep working my way up the leg, securing the splint, pretending as if it was there, until I get to a point where her knee is secured as well. Once the knee is secured, I'm going to once again check for pulse to ensure that the tape job isn't too tight, and check for capillary refill, which is good. And now I'm going to send our patient off with the first responders to get proper medical treatment. Thank you.